In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Welcome back to Royal Brougham Pavilion. It's our second matchup of the afternoon on the second day of the SPU Thanksgiving Tournament. This one features the hosts, the Seattle Pacific Falcons, taking on the Colorado Christian Cougars. If you were with us here earlier this afternoon, you saw St. Martin's run away with their second game in as many days, taking down Metro State, the same Metro State Roadrunners that handed the Falcons a heartbreaking loss last night, where Metro State won it with just 2.2 seconds to go on a three-pointer. SPU had a look at the end to get the win themselves, but couldn't quite get it to drop, and now they are looking to bounce back in the last game of their home Thanksgiving tournament. These two teams met last season in Colorado, where Colorado Christian handed these Falcons a 68-41 loss. So SPU also looking for a little bit of flipping the script from last season as well. Plenty of motivation for the home team in white. Good crowd for this Saturday matinee filling in here at Royal Braun Pavilion on the campus of Seattle Pacific University. We will take a break as we get set for tip-off in just a couple minutes. Again, it's the Falcons, it's the Cougars, it's Game 2, Day 2 here at the SPU Thanksgiving Tournament. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to Royal Braun Pavilion here on the campus of Seattle Pacific University. I'm Sam Paul Barrett alongside you for this game of the second day, the final game of the SPU Thanksgiving Tournament here in Seattle. Again, this one features the Colorado Christian Cougars and the Seattle Pacific Falcons. Both teams coming off losses last night, albeit in different fashions. Colorado Christian losing fairly handily at the hands of St. Martin's, and the Falcons coming off a heartbreaker against Metro State. The starters being introduced here in the warm confines of Royal Braun Pavilion. It is chilly out, but don't let that deceive you. The action has been red hot so far, both days. And we're excited to bring you this one, the nightcap. As we said, the starters being introduced. Let's set those starters for you here for Colorado Christian as they take their huddle, led by head coach Carissa Ratliff and assistants Sydney Pretty and Bree Olson. Number 1, a point guard, junior Nicole Bolin from Edina, Minnesota. Victoria Perez starts as well, the 5'6 junior. 6'1 senior from Colorado Springs, number 11, Desaya Jones. Maggie Phipps as well, a 5'11 senior forward. And rounding out the 5 for Colorado Christian, a 6-foot freshman from Overland Park, Kansas. That's number 33, Elise Gross-Didier. For Seattle Pacific, who you see in their huddle, it's Haley Ota, the sophomore from Honolulu. 5th-year senior and ever-present offensive threat, Hunter Biren, wears number 14 and starts from Mukilteo, the Kamiak High School alumni. Lane Kearns, the other aspect of that two-headed real monster offensively for Seattle Pacific, wears number 22. Madison Rubino, the junior from Snohomish, starts. And then down low, number 32, you'll see Skylar Berry, the 6'3 senior from Portland. We're underway here as Seattle Pacific takes the opening tip, and they turn it over, and now Colorado Christian will go the other way. Both teams will look to push the tempo early and get off to a hot start. In our earlier game, the visitors really got off to a slow beginning to the game as St. Martin's came up on an early offensive charge and And Metro State never was really able to recover. Neither team able to find Pater on their first trips down the floor. As Seattle Pacific swinging around, here's Kearns. Skip pass, Ota. Down low, Barry. Barry. They keep it here. Ota now. Barry again. Biren. Back to Barry. She kicked it and keeping the handle and getting the layup, but missing it was Madison Rubino. Falcons found a good look there, but Rubino couldn't quite get it to drop. So running point, Nicole Bolin. Corner three on the way, no good from Victoria Perez. It'll go out of bounds and stay. Go the way of the SPU Falcons wearing white. So Hunter Biren setting it up for SPU. Gets it down to Barry. Can Barry go to work? Kicks it out. Long J, but she traveled. Rubino got the ball at the top of the key and got the shot away, but took an extra step before. So Nicole Bolin brought it up for Colorado Christian. 3 on the way from the corner is good. Maggie Phipps drains it. Falcons looking to respond. 3 on the way. Front iron, no. Biren couldn't quite get it to drop. Victoria Perez kicks it out. This is number 33. That's Elise Gross-Didier. Had the look from 3. Rimmed out. It'll be Falcons ball. $7:55 to go in the first period. 3-0 lead early on for Colorado Christian here. As Biren brings it up for the Falcons. Kearns now. Surveys the defense and drops it into Barry. Barry found Rubino, whose shot didn't drop. And Rubino, though, working hard at the other end and getting the turnover. Finds Ota, who will lay it in. Well, Rubino couldn't quite get the baseline jumper to go, but makes up for it with a turnover there at half court. Finds Haley Ota for the first points of the afternoon for the Falcons. Step back 3 on the way, back iron no. Rebound Rubino again, and gets it out to Kearns, who will push it for the Falcons. Kearns kicks it corner, Biren, Ota, good ball movement from the Falcons. 3 on the way, rattles out. Barry with the rebound, gets it up and in. And the Falcons out to a 4-3 lead early. Big skip pass all the way to Perez. They get it down low to Gross-Didier, and she lays it in. Biren. Kearns now and Ota. Kearns tried to get it down to Ota. Couldn't quite do so, and now the Cougars go the other way. 3 on the way. Rims out, and it's rebounded by Rubino. The Glacier Peak alumni with the defensive rebound. She found Hunter Biren on the outlet who couldn't finish, and it bounces around and will stay with the Falcons. And some early changes for SPU as Amelia Bishop, 6'3" junior from Wilsonville, Oregon, checks in. As does another Oregon product from Portland, Grace Leisure. They get it down low to Bishop. Biren, they reset with Leisure. Biren. Back to Bishop. 1 pound now kicks to the corner. Ota to the top, Leisure. Biren looked at it, now keeps her dribble. Tried to find Ota. They almost got the turnover. Kearns will pull up for a three with the shot clock expiring. Couldn't get it to go. Bolin tried to get all the way to the rack and a little bit out of control shot there. Wanted the foul, didn't get it. Here comes Buren to Kearns. Lane pulls up for a three. Right iron off. And now Victoria Perez will set it up for the Cougars. Perez. Nice skip passing here from Colorado Christian. Back to Perez, and it comes off of Leisure. Shot clock winding down now, and it will expire. So a shot clock violation, and the Falcons will get the ball back. Jenna Kendall comes in for her first action for Colorado Christian. And we will go to a timeout here. Early on, it's the Falcons 4, the Cougars 5. We will be right back here from the SPU Thanksgiving Tournament.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Back in the gym with you here at Royal Brougham Pavilion. Early on, the Seattle Pacific University Falcons trailing 4-5 to the Colorado Christian Cougars, a pair of teams looking for bounce backs after losses on the first night of the SPU Thanksgiving Tournament. The guard duo of Lane Kearns and Hunter Buren has been a potent one for SPU. They both paced the Falcons with 14 points apiece last night against Metro State. Leisure spins and lays it in. Grace Leisure gets herself on the board, and it's a 6-5 lead for SPU. So now Bolin. They got it down to number 22, Josie Gross Didier, who puts it in. And the Cougars back out in front. Falcons no stranger to close games last night. The entire game really played. He's played within a span of 11 points. As Amelia Bishop gets it to go there. As we said, the entire game played within a span of 11 points last night. Seattle Pacific did lead by as many as 6 in the second quarter. Metro State up by 5 after an 11-0 scoring run, and after halftime got even tighter. Biggest margin for the Roadrunners was 5 points, and for the Falcons, just 4. The Falcons lead early here. Lolo Weatherspoon is in for SPU, wearing number 10. Cougars go to the rack and can't quite get it to fall. Battling for the rebound was Leisure with Desaya Jones, and it will stay with Colorado Christian underneath. They get it in. Pull up from the free throw line is well short. Skip pass to the corner, Leisure. Leisure does get it back to Kearns in the corner. She wants a three and drops it in. And our public address announcer here said it best. No doubt about it. Lane Kearns drains the triple. Weatherspoon. Nice little move, but can't quite finish at the rim. And the ball will go back to the Cougars here. Colorado Christian Cougars clad in black and Carolina blue. They do get it across after some good pressure from SPU. 3 on the way is long. Rebound, put back up and in. Nicole Bolin, not the most likely person on the court to go get an offensive rebound, but she does really well. Gets it back up, gets the hoop and the harm, and we'll head to the free throw line. As Ota returns for SPU. And Biren takes a seat. Bolin gets the extra. Ota pushing the pace. Kearns now. Kearns again, sets it up, gets the screen. Tried to find Weatherspoon. It was just out of her reach, and it's a turnover. Goes back to the Cougars. Skylar Berry checks back in for SPU. And Bishop takes a seat. Dribble drive by the Cougars here. This is Gross Didier. Josie Gross Didier, that is. A pair of them on this Colorado Christian team. A couple of freshmen from Overland Park, Kansas, as it's laid in at the other end by Grace Leisure. Coast to coast in a flash. And the Falcons out to a 13-10 lead here with 1:36 to go in the first quarter. And the give and go found Bolin, but she could not connect on the bunny. As Seattle Pacific first-year interim head coach Karen Byers calls time. And we will go to a break here with 1:23 to go. The hosts leading by 3 over the Colorado. Back underway here. Falcons taking it up with Ota. And Leisure finds Berry. Berry barreling her way down low and gets it to drop. And one, Skylar Berry. As Hunter Biren returns to the fray. Berry could not be stopped on her way to the bucket there. Finds Twine and will get another chance here from the charity stripe. And that one will drop as well, making it a 6-point lead for SPU. A pair of substitutions for Colorado Christian. Elise Gross Didier returns. And Haley Luther checks in. Gross Didier. Josiah Jones down low. Little pump fake from Bolin, and that was rejected. And then they get tied up underneath. Skylar Berry and Josiah Jones. It'll stay with the Cougars. So Bolin tries to get it in to Jones, and they were not quite on the same page. Took a touch off a white jersey, and it will stay with the Cougars. Gross Didier. Under 10 on the shot clock. Turnaround, Gross Didier. Kicks, now driving and unable to finish. Was Jenna Kendall on the floor, and a jump ball, I believe, will get called. Or we're going to call the kick ball. We're going to call the kick ball against the Cougars, and it'll go the way of the Falcons. Barron across the logo. Leisure. Weatherspoon to Barry. Bounce pass. Weatherspoon couldn't quite hold on to it, and it'll be Cougar ball on the baseline. Falcons maybe wanted a foul, but no whistle was forthcoming there. And they bring the press here, and it is paying dividends as they do turn them over, and it's laid in. No, excuse me, by Ota. Who had a good look at it. And from my perch up here in the corner press box, thought she had dropped it in. But it did come off that back iron. Stay out. It'll stay with the Falcons underneath. As Grace Leisure took a little bit of a hit to the face there, and she'll take a seat. And now we're going to get a whistle again. And it's a foul against Colorado Christian. That's Jenna Kendall committing it. That's her first. Falcons will go to work on the inbound again. Down low, Weatherspoon. A little bit of contact, doesn't go. But Barron puts it back in at the buzzer, and we'll count it. And to end the first quarter, it's the Falcons 18. The Cougars 10. As Hunter Barron was able to stretch that lead at the very last second there. Heads up play to get the rebound and put it back in. We'll take a quick break here between the quarters, and we'll be back here for SPU Sports. Back with you inside Royal Braun Pavilion for the SPU Thanksgiving Tournament. Final game of the weekend here. Falcons out to an 18-10 lead after one. Colorado Christian, again coming off a 72-53 loss to St. Martin's last night. Sitting at 1-4. It was Maggie Phipps leading the way for the Cougars, and Desaya Jones chipped in 11, as well as a team-high 8 rebounds in the loss last night. Scouting the Cougars as well. I'm going to keep an eye on Victoria Perez, who's been fairly quiet so far, and just had 8 points last night, but in last year's Colorado Christian victory over SPU, she chipped in a game-high 17. Averaging 10.2 points a game this season. Back underway with the Cougars. Gross Didier. Back out to Perez. Bolin. Phipps. To Gross Didier again. Bounce pass into Bolin, who shakes off her defender, and that's a tough finish. So here's Lane Kearns. Weatherspoon. Barron. Madison Rubino back out there as well for the Falcons. Barry, high post. Gets it down to Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon will go to work. Back iron, rims out. Rebound, Rubino. Little jumper, and she finishes. 8-point lead for the Falcons. Perez going the other way, blocked by Berry. Skylar Berry says, not in my paint, as Victoria Perez tried to get her afternoon going in the scoring column. Off the inbound, 3 on the way is pure. That's Maggie Phipps looking to pick up where she left off as the leading scorer last night for the Cougars. Kearns, corner Rubino. Beeren now. Hunter finds Rubino again. Kearns. Kearns drives and now kicks. Beeren 3 on the way. Front iron and bounces around and falls out. Rebound, a strong one at that by Maggie Phipps. And they call the jump. It'll stay with the Falcons. Nicole Bolin of the Cougars doesn't like that. Berry now they reset with Kearns. Weatherspoon. Corner Rubino. Rubino drives into the paint. Rubino can't get it to drop. And we are going to stay here as Berry was fouled by Josie Grosdidier. As Grace Turley, redshirt freshman from Sammamish, checks in for SPU. And on the inbound, not quite on the same play, where Hunter Beeren, or on the same page, excuse me, where Hunter Beeren and Skylar Berry. Perez looking to break the pressure, and she does. Gets it down low to Grosdidier, who does corral it. Perez again. Nicole Bolin, little crossover, and now kicks it to the corner with Perez, who does drop it in. That's a 2. Berry batted it around and couldn't keep it, and Colorado Christian will go the other way. They've narrowed it to just a 3-point deficit. Falcons leading 20-17. Victoria Perez down low to Grosdidier. She tries to get a shot up and can't. Rubino brings it down. And Lane Kearns is going to be fouled there by Nicole Bolin, who was hunting for the turnover. Couldn't quite come away with it. Just got a lot of body. Grace Leisure is back in after some hands to the face a couple minutes ago. Haley Ota as well back on the floor for SPU. And we'll have a conversation between a pair of our officials. May need to correct something on our scoreboard. And they do. So Falcons get it in here. Kearns. Back to Grace Turley. Kearns. Berry wants it and gets it. Berry to the corner. 3 on the way. Just a little long from Leisure. Jones. Guarded by Turley. Elise Grosdidier. Left it for Victoria Perez. Perez driving against Kearns, and Kearns is in a bit of pain. The foul is going to get called against her, and she still felt it, and she'll take a seat here and have a little chat with the SPU athletic training staff. Hunter Beeren back in. Perez on the inbounds. Driving was Phipps, kicked it back to Perez. 13 on the shot clock, 12, 11. Perez now with Beeren guarding. Perez now will take the jumper, and that can't drop, but then she forces a turnover here on the rebound from Berry and then lost it. Perez trying to get the steal there, and It was a Leisure down low who couldn't quite drop it in. 3 on the way, no good. Rebound Perez. The other way, Bolin. And she can't quite keep it. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a Falcon ball. Amelia Bishop returns to spell Skylar Berry and do the work down low. Beeren bringing it up for SPU. Ota. Turley. Finds Bishop down low. Turnaround shot off the glass and good. Amelia Bishop with some nice post moves and a good finish. Perez. Jones down low. And she is going to be fouled by Ota. It's the first one on Haley Ota. 2 team fouls apiece here as we hit the 5:30 mark in the second quarter. Tried to lob it down low into Jones. And Leisure got a hand on it. It'll be Cougar ball underneath. They try to get it in, and the kick ball will put us right back where we started. Perez down low. Jones backing down her defender. Tried to turn. Bishop was there. 3 on the way is off left iron. And it's Falcons basketball. Maggie Phipps had a good look at it. Couldn't drop it in. So Beeren gets the Falcons going. Turley. Beeren gets the screen. Now finds Ota off of it. Leisure for 3. Long, no good. Rebound, Perez. Phipps. Jones now. Will go right at Bishop and lay it in. The lead is 22-19 for SPU. Quickly down to the other end, and Bishop lays it in. Ota pushing the pace, finding Amelia Bishop down low. Who gets the deuce for the Falcons? Timeout. And we will take it as well. Falcons leading 24-19 here. 4:29 to go. Back here with you at Royal Brom Pavilion, 4:29 on the clock, and the Falcons leading the Colorado Christian Cougars 24-19. Hasn't quite gone to plan in the first year under the leadership of interim head coach Karen Byers, at least on the scoreboard. The Falcons coming in 1-7, their lone win, a victory on November 15th over Cal State San Marcos. Falcons were picked for an 8th place finish in the GNAC coaches poll, and Western Washington and Montana State Billings picked at the top of that poll. So Falcons building, looking to come out of this Thanksgiving weekend with some positives. So far, they are doing the right things to make that happen. Ota defending Phipps. Jones. Victoria Perez. Bolin, shot clock winding down. 8, 7, 6. Perez baseline. And nowhere to go. Turns it over. Biren wanted to push the pace there, and instead will set up and over the logo. Perez was lurking to try and get a turnover. Biren gets rid of it. Turley. Hunter Biren now. Big cross-court pass. Rubino, Ota. It is Biren for 3. Rims out. No. Rebound Phipps. And she will take it the other way. Phipps all the way across. Perez, quick trigger 3. No. Rebound Jones. Kicks it to her point guard, Nicole Bolin, who drops in the jumper. So again, a 3-point lead for the Falcons. It's 24-21. The Cougars keeping it close. Perez nearly with the steal. Biren gets it anyway. Down low. Bishop, turnaround shot. In and out. Couple of substitutes getting ready for Seattle Pacific as Turley went for the turnover there and couldn't quite come away with the steal. Perez. Gross Didier drops it down low to Jones, who lays it in. And the lead is just 1 for the homestanding Seattle Pacific Falcons. 24-23. Down we go, Amelia Bishop in the corner. 3 on the way, no good. Rebound, Rubino, and she puts it back up. Can't get it to drop. And this time, the Cougars come away with it. Gross Didier. Elise, that is. Perez. Bounce pass, Phipps. Bolin couldn't quite keep the handle, and Ota got in to maybe force the turnover. Turley had it and lost it. It falls all the way to Gross Didier, who had a look from 3 in the corner, no good, and it's on the ground. Plenty of bodies down in there, and it will be a jump ball. Multiple substitutions here for the Falcons. Back in is Barry, Kearns, and Weatherspoon. Holding on to a 1-point lead. Jones was just right between Phipps and Bolin on that pass. Split the difference. Couldn't find either of them. So 1:40 to go. Ota bringing it up. Kearns. Barry wants it and gets it. Skyler. Back out to Ota, looked at it for a minute and then keeps it. In the corner, Weatherspoon. Drives, pulls back out to Ota. Jump stop, corner, Kearns. Kearns crossed over and drove inside. It does come back out to Ota after the poke away from the defense. Ota. Shot clock down to 2. Has to get a shot up and does. Grace Turley's shot only found the back iron. So Victoria Perez will get it back here from Bolin. 3-point attempt on the way, no good. Rebound, Barry, and it's going to be a jump ball. She had Desire Jones all over her, but they get tied up, and we go to the jump. Barry, doubled in the post, tries to keep it, and we will have another tie-up, and it's going to be Cougar ball with 38.4 to go. Phipps cross court to Jones. Bolin will set it up. About a 7-second difference between the shot and game clock. 3 goes up for number 3, Victoria Perez. And she drops it in, and Colorado Christian has a 2-point lead. 10 seconds to go here. Ota Weatherspoon. 5 seconds. They got to get one up. Weatherspoon hounded on defense. Ota gets it. She will put the 3 up and drains it. Haley Ota gives the Falcons a lead heading into the locker room. 27-26. And Haley Ann got that ball and didn't have to think about it too much with the clock winding down. Finds Twine from the wing. Falcons 27, Cougars 26. We will take a quick break here as we go to halftime. And the Falcons holding on to a 1-point lead. We'll be back with the second half of the second game of the second day of the SPU Thanksgiving.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Well, the Falcons back on the floor, so we're back here with you on SPU Sports on YouTube. Coming out at halftime here, just a couple minutes before we get back underway. It's the Falcons leading 27-26 against the visitors from just west of Denver, Colorado Christian. It's a 27-26 margin again. Let's talk through the stat sheet together. For the Falcons, they were paced by the down low presence of Amelia Bishop, who was 3 for 4 field goal looks, as well as Haley Ann Ota as well. Good court vision so far, a couple assists in that first half. Not many trips to the free throw line for either team, with Skylar Berry going 1-1 in the Falcons only trip. Nicole Bolin 1-1 at the free throw line on the only trip there for the Cougars. Looking like similar starters, for both teams here for the second half as they get warm. It was a first half that was led mostly by the Falcons until a surge by Colorado Christian towards the end of the half looked like they might go into the locker rooms with a lead, but it wasn't to be for the visitors as Haley Ann Ota drilled a 3 as time expired there in that first half to get us to where we are now. We'll take a quick break with just about 3 minutes left in halftime, and we'll be back with the second half of our second game of the day. It's the Falcons 27, the Cougars getting set here for the second half. Again, diving back into the first half statistics. Neither team really with anybody individually filling it up. As we said, Amelia Bishop, 6 points on 3 for 4. Shooting in the first half. Haley-Ann Ota as well, connecting from deep. She's got 5 total. Neither team's percentages really necessarily blowing you away. 3-point range hasn't been super kind to either team. The Falcons shooting just 20%, and the Cougars just 14.3, 1 for 7 from downtown. So both teams will be looking to get hot from outside the arc here as we go into the second half. It's a 1-point ball game, much different than our first game of the afternoon, and we wouldn't have it any other way as, Beeren just lost it there. And going the other way was the point guard for the Cougars. That's Bolin. Couldn't get the layup, but the foul goes against the Falcons there off the rebound. And at the free throw line, that's number 33. That's Elise Gross-Didier, one of 2 Gross-Didiers on the roster for the Cougars. First one good, tie ball game. Second one swishes as well, and the Cougars back out in front. For Colorado Christian, it was Nicole Bolin who led the way with 7 points, but did quite a lot more, I think, that the box score didn't show. Just being a nuisance everywhere, offensively and defensively, for the Falcons to have to deal with. So first real possession here for the Falcons. What can they do? Barry backs it down. Now corner to Ota. Can she get another one from distance? Just off and rebounded by Phipps. Her pass can't quite connect with Victoria Perez. It's Falcon ball. Beeren harassed there by the guard duo of Perez and Bolin. They do get out of it. Rubino, Beeren. Beeren tried to loft it up to Skylar Berry off of the spin move and couldn't connect with her, so it will be Cougars ball. A little bit stop-start beginning to this second half for both teams. Neither really able to find that rhythm, but it was Colorado Christian getting on the board early and reclaiming the lead that they had lost when Ota hit that 3 at the end of the first half. Falcon ball just in front of the scorer's table. Quick reflexes by the scorer's table to dodge that ball coming at him at 50 miles an hour. Beeren at the top. Goes left with Bolin guarding her. Rubino and Beeren. Beeren spins off the screen now. Excuse me, that's Rubino going inside and laying it in. Off the pass from Beeren. Perez backs out and calls out the play. Bolin down low. Jones, she will get it up and in. Desaya Jones giving the 1-point lead back to Colorado Christian. Kearns now, jab step, gets it down to Beeren. Ota in the corner. Rubino jumper is well short, and it'll go out of bounds. And the Falcons still looking to find their offensive rhythm here overall. Perez stops and tries to find Jones, can't connect, and now Kearns goes the other way, pushing the pace. Kearns lays it off. Ota lays it in. And the foul. And is that the spark that the Falcons need to really get going in this second half? One more at the line for Ota, who can't get that one to drop. front iron and rattled around, just didn't quite find the bottom of the net. Jones makes her defender miss and lays it in. And the lead seesaws back the way of the Cougars. Beeren takes her defender baseline and can't lay it in. Cougars come away with the rebound, and they push the pace. Bolin scoops it over to Perez. Perez bounce past Phipps. Phipps up, no good. Rebound, Rubino, and she does save it, but only as far as Jones. And they will reset. Perez takes on Beeren, goes to the baseline, and we're going to get a block. Staying with the Cougars underneath. A trio of subs checking in for SPU as Grace Leisure, Lolo Weatherspoon, and Amelia Bishop return. They find Bolin on the inbound. She will go up strong and finish. And she's got words for her defender after the tough finish there. 34-31 lead for Colorado Christian. Tried to go down to low to Bishop. Bishop is, I believe, going to dribble that out of bounds. It looked like she had just about saved it and gotten it off her defender. But they do, the whistle does go the way of the Cougs. Nifty move from Victoria Perez to keep that ball as things got a little chaotic. And then Colorado Christian, the Cougars will call a timeout while she still had the ball. And we will go to timeout with them. 6:23 to go in the third quarter. It's the Falcons 31, the Cougars.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we're back. The Falcons looking to respond here, down 3. Game they did lead a lot of the first half, but it's been pretty back and forth ever since the last couple minutes of that second quarter. Inbounding are the Cougars. Jones got it around Leisure and lays it up and in. 36-31 lead for Colorado Christian. Beeren. That's Weatherspoon now. Ota. Leisure. Ota again. Now she drives baseline, kicks it back out. Leisure for 3 at the top. Off the iron and rebounded by Gross-Didier. Victoria Perez pulls it back out. Gross-Didier. Drives, bounce past Phipps. Back to Gross-Didier. Bolin. Gets it back down low to Desire Jones, who will go to work, and she's going to get called for the travel there. She tried to back down Grace Leisure. It'll be Falcon ball on the baseline. So Ota leads the Falcons up the floor. Weatherspoon, Leisure in the corner. No. Rebounded by Phipps. Three on the way, and that one misses, but they do get the rebound, and then Lolo Weatherspoon recovers it, but cannot connect with Grace Leisure on the outlet pass, and it'll go back to Colorado Christian. So now Nicole Bolin across the Falcon logo. Bounce past Jones. Jones is fouled there. And that one's going to go against Grace Leisure. We will head to the media timeout with 5 minutes here to go in the third quarter. It's the Falcons 31 and the Cougars 36. We'll go to a quick break as well and be back with the rest of this third quarter and indeed the rest of our second and final game of the night. And we're back here with the Falcons breaking the huddle. They are down 31-36 in a game that's had plenty of lead changes. Falcons need to make sure they don't let this one quite get away from them, as we have 5 minutes to go on the dot in the third quarter. Plenty of returners on this Falcons team for first-year interim head coach Karen Byers to work with. Only 2 starters left after last year, although we say only, and Haley Marlowe and Olivia May are pretty big pieces of that Falcons team. And this is Phipps going to work for Colorado Christian and laying it in. But as we said, Grace Leisure, Haley-Ann Ota, Amelia Bishop, Skylar Berry, Lane Kearns. Plenty of continuity for this team, just looking to get it right here as we approach December. Put back by Leisure, no good, but she's fouled. And Grace Leisure looking to get the Falcons going from the free throw line here. As we said, coming out of halftime, nobody really on the Falcons filling it up offensively here. Feels like that kind of game where maybe one little burst of special play from somebody and just to get hot shooting the ball. Maybe this steal from Lane Kearns will be that spark as Kearns goes up strong and finishes. But just feels like maybe the Falcons need somebody to take over here. 35-38 deficit. Kearns playing good defense in the corner there. Perez for the Cougars. Under 10 on the shot clock. Perez step back. Doesn't find iron. Comes off the backboard, and it's going to, I believe, stay with the Cougars underneath. In fact, it is. Kearns secures the rebound and goes the other way. Wayne finds Ota. Weatherspoon. Skips it to Ota again. Barry calls for it down low and gets it. Here comes the double. They swing it to the corner. Weatherspoon for 3. No. Rebound Ota. And she is able to find Lane Kearns and reset for the Falcons. 15 on the shot clock. Driving Leisure, and she turned it over. Bullet pass, but straight to Maggie Phipps. And then Leisure is going to get called for the foul, and she is not happy with that one. That is her third foul, and coach recognizes it's time to put Madison Rubino back in. Bolin inbounding. And Perez will run it for the Cougars as Hunter Mirren runs to the table to check in for the Falcons. Stolen by Kearns. Lane going all the way coast to coast. Lane Kearns lanes it in. And cuts the lead 2-1 for Colorado Christian. Timeout, Cougars. Quick hands and sharp defensive instincts there from number 22, and Lane Kearns gets another steal and score, her second in just a couple minutes here. 2:41 to go, and the Falcons trailing 37-38. We mentioned last year these teams met in Colorado as far as non-conference opponents, decently familiar with each other. But the last SPU win in this series was a 90-53 victory. That was all the way back in 2009. Falcons looking to make it happen here tonight. In a barn burner so far, it's really been back and forth, plenty of lead changes. Cougars get the 3 up, and number 3 drains that one. Victoria Perez, one of the players to watch for the Cougars, splashes the triple from the near corner. Lead back out to 4 for the Cougars. Weatherspoon drives baseline, contested shot, no good. In went Rubino to try and poke away the rebound. Couldn't quite secure it, and it's going to be Cougar basketball. Perez, guarded by Rubino. Over to Phipps, who led the scoring for the Cougars last night against St. Martin's. Bounce pass back to Phipps. Phipps for 3, and that one rattles in. Back-to-back triples for the Colorado Christian Cougars, heating up from beyond the arc. Falcons looking for a response. Beeren now. Kearns. You feel like it might be one of those two. Or Skylar Berry, who is fouled as she kicked it out of the post there. The Cougars bringing the double every time Berry gets the ball in the post there. But Berry, a pretty savvy passer out of the post, and they've been able to generate a few good looks going inside out. So Lolo Weatherspoon now. Dribbles right against Phipps. Turnaround back out to Kearns. Kearns wants that three-pointer. It's back iron off. Recovered on the rebound by Phipps. And then Madison Rubino is going to step in just a little too hard and get called for the foul. And that's going to be the Snohomish, Washington natives' third foul of the night. Rubino, a 6'1 forward, transfer from Cal Poly Humboldt. Also spent time as an Idaho Vandal. First one at the line for Phipps was good. Second as well. And the lead is 46-37 for the Cougars as Ota checks back in. Lane Kearns takes a seat. As the press comes from Colorado Christian, Beeren bringing it up, guarded by Bolin. Barry backs down her defender, and Barry will get the ball poked out of her hands, stay with the Falcons underneath. Buren to inbound. After tied for a team lead scoring last night with 14, number 14 hasn't quite gotten it going on the offensive end. Just 2 points this afternoon. Looking to change that with under a minute in the third quarter. Inbounds to Barry. Ota now. Rubino. And Buren is going to lose the handle, and it's going to go out of bounds and be a Cougar ball. And that prompts Grace Leisure to pop up and check back in. So 47 seconds and counting. Perez got it back there, and her jumper rattles around and is good. The guard duo of Nicole Bolin and Victoria Perez pacing the Cougars so far. Jumper from Rubino, no. Rebound by Leisure, and she is hammered. Nicole Bolin really wanted that to go the other way, as one does. So Ota bounce pass on the inbound to Weatherspoon, who tried to rip it away from the tie-up with Perez, and it will be a jump ball, and it'll go back to the Cougars with 23.7 on the clock. Shot clock turned off, and it is Nicole Bolin bringing it up for Colorado Christian. Over the timeline with Ota defending. Swings it over to Jones. Back to Bolin. Under 10 here. Bolin in the corner. It was Weatherspoon, and she got a hand on it, tried to keep it in, just couldn't quite do so. And with 4 seconds to go, Cougars going to try to get a shot off this inbound play. Bolin does get it into Perez, who can't quite keep the handle, and she loses it. It's going to be a half-court heave off the steal from Leisure that doesn't go. But a good defensive stand there on that final possession of the third quarter for the Falcons. However, after a big third quarter offensively for the Cougars of Colorado Christian, it is Colorado Christian 48, Seattle Pacific 37, heading into the fourth. We'll take a quick break here on SPU Sports on YouTube, and we will be back for what is sure to be an exciting conclusion to our nightcap here at Royal.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Back at action here at Royal Brougham Pavilion with the Falcons trailing 37-48. And they're going to inbound here with Lolo Weatherspoon to Hunter Buren. A big fourth quarter coming up for Seattle Pacific, trying to go 1-1 here at their home tournament. Leisure back to Weatherspoon. Grace Turley is in for the Falcons. Weatherspoon will drive down the lane. Can't get it to go. Buren up for the rebound, and she does corral it. Buren driving in, kicks. Weatherspoon thought about a three. Fakes and drives inside instead, and a nice little Euro and finish from Lolo Weatherspoon. The Union High School grad from Camas, Washington finishes there. as Nicole Bolin went hard to the rack and tried to force one up. She is fouled. Can't get it to go. She will have 2 at the free throw line. Bolin's been impressive tonight. A 5'6" junior from Minnesota. And she sinks that one as well, so up to 11 points here. A little over her average of 8 a game. Leisure. Crossover dribble baseline, and she gets it to drop. A strong take from Grace Leisure. Nice little crossover to get to the baseline and take her defender all the way to the rack and finish. 9-point deficit for the Falcons to overcome. Up and under from Jones, but she's going to get called for the travel. And it's going to be Falcon ball. What can they do with a little momentum here? 8:45 to go. Weatherspoon. Leisure. Turley wants a 3, and it is no good. Rebounded by Jones. Cougars going the other way. Jenna Kendall is in for Colorado Christian. They get it down low to Jones, who can't find the finish. Weatherspoon now. Pushes the pace. Turley in the corner. Doesn't decide to go for that 3. Stops in the lane. Finds Weatherspoon again, who drives baseline. Weatherspoon pops and finishes. Lead down to 7 for the Cougars. And it's going to be just about a turnover. In fact, it is not. They'll call the foul as Nicole Bolin drove in, lost the handle a little bit, kept it just enough to draw the foul from Grace Turley, her second. And back in for Colorado Christian, Haley Luther, 5'11", freshman from Superior, Colorado. Oh, driving in, Desire Jones, and finishing. Leisure, jab step, and then pulls the 3 and can't find it, just short. Did tickle the outside of the net, and maybe 1 or 2 fans here in Royal Braun Pavilion may have thought she swished it on the correct side, but not quite, just a little bit short. So going to work are the Cougars. 3 on the way, rims out and rebound by Lane Kearns. And she will push the pace, goes by Perez. Kearns all the way to the bucket, lays it in off the glass. Kearns keeping the Falcons in it there. Perez, 7 minutes to go here in the fourth. Perez drives underneath and can't finish. Kearns again with the rebound. Outlet pass, ducked out of the way was Leisure, and then Grace Turley finishes. Transition bucket from the Falcons to narrow the Cougar lead to 52-47. Poked away by Lolo Weatherspoon. She's got Beeren running with her. She does find her with the bounce pass and getting in there to just put off Beeren was the Cougars. Jenna Kendall, it'll stay with the Falcons. But SPU hanging around. A couple transition moments, forcing turnovers. Beeren, can she get going with the 3? Not this time. Rebound, Leisure, put back up and in. And you can feel it a little bit in this gym. The energy picking up as the Falcons have narrowed the Cougar lead to just 3. It's a timeout, Colorado Christian. 6:13 to go. It's the Falcons 49. Cougars 52.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Back here inside Royal Braum Pavilion, a little bit of energy starting to spark back up here amongst the fans, most of them on the camera side here that aren't as visible on the broadcast, but you can start to feel the energy in this building pick up on that last little stretch for SPU. Falcons looking to close this one out strong as they're going to head north for their next matchups in GNAC play. They'll take on Simon Fraser on December 5th and then Western Washington on the 7th before another quick slate of non-league matchups after that. Back in action here with Bolin. Perez steps back with Kearns Gardinger, finds Bolin. Grace Turley in her face. Leisure defending Jones. Shot clock under 10, winding down. They do get it inside to Jones, turns around, doesn't look at it at first, and then goes up and rims out. No, rebound, Turley. Falcons going the other way. Weatherspoon. Back out top to Leisure. This is Beeren. Corner, Lane Kearns for three. Got it! Splash goes the triple from Lane Kearns to tie this game at 52. Kendall to Perez. Perez will step into a three. Rims out, rebound, Lane Kearns. Finds Beeren. And now they'll reset at the top with Kearns. Weatherspoon far side. Beeren in the corner. Decides to keep it. Goes inside to a cutting Weatherspoon, who finishes! Offensive patience from SPU there as Beeren found Weatherspoon cutting to the bucket. And she drops it in to give the Falcons back the lead. Turnaround J for an answer is no good from Luther. And now Beeren. Corner, Kearns. Does she have another one in her? Yes, indeed. Well, we said it might take a nice little period of hot shooting, and it certainly has as Lane Kearns splashes another one. Instant response there from Haley Luther. The Falcon lead is 3. 57-54. 3:53 to go. Weatherspoon backing down her defender. Kicks. Beeren. Beeren drives inside. Beeren is fouled on the way up by a none too happy Nicole Bolin. Excuse me, that's going to go against Jenna Kendall, number 20. That's her second. So Hunter Beeren heading to the free throw line with a chance to extend this lead. Well, before that last timeout, we said it, the energy in this building just started to pick up a little bit. You could feel it as the Cougars called that timeout. And the Falcons coming out of that timeout and doing everything they needed to do to get this thing back in their favor. Still plenty of time, though. Beeren sinks both. 3:45 on the clock. Bolin bringing it up for the Cougars. Perez to Phipps. They'll want to get her going if the Cougars are going to have anything to say about this one. Perez goes left and then backs out for Jones, and not on the same page as she tried to go across court to Elise Gross-Didier, who was cutting, and there was nobody home for the Cougars. As we're going to take just a second as Lane Kearns needs to remove her shoulder wrap. And Haliane Ota will return. And just as expected, they want to get the hot hand back in as Lane Kearns will check right back in, and a travel goes against the Falcons. .3:15 to go. Across the timeline was Bolin. Phipps. Gross Didier. Bolin had it ripped away. Grace Turley going the other way. Turley can't finish the layup. Rebounded by Kearns, but no, there's a foul before she got that rebound, and it will go off the ball against Grace Leisure, and that is costly. That'll be her 4th foul for the Portland, Oregon native. And it looks like for now, Coach Byers is going to let it ride. 2:53 to go. Falcons leading, 59-54. Bolin across. Perez, quick trigger 3. No. Rebounded off of the Falcons, I believe, although our referee, who is a lot closer to the action, is going to disagree, and it will be Falcon ball. Kearns brings it up across the timeline. Kearns goes left. Leisure goes right. Weatherspoon. Skip. Kern. Another triple. Bang! Lane Kearns lighting it up. Falcons lead 62-54. 2:15 on the clock. Cougars need a response. Phipps down low. Gross Didier turns. Cannot get it to go against Weatherspoon. On the rebound, it was put up and missed, and then rebounded to the Falcons. Here comes Turley. Turley all the way to the bucket. Bounce pass. Weatherspoon takes a hard knock, and she will go to the free throw line. Well, the Falcons needed just a massive, massive response here in this fourth quarter, and they sure have brought that. 1:57 left to go here in the fourth, and they lead it 62-54. It's Lolo Weatherspoon at the free throw line. Drops in the first. And the second is good as well, and they stretch the lead to 10. Bolin wants to go quick, with Grace Turley defending her. Turley has had a great second half defensively. Turnaround, Jay, no good. Rebound, Weatherspoon. And now Beeren going the other way quick. She will pull it back out for Weatherspoon. Quick trigger 3. Weatherspoon's 3 is off. Rebound, Beeren. And she's going to take her time as we hit 15 on the shot clock here. Beeren skips to Turley. And they're going to get Desaya Jones for her first foul of the game. That's only the third of the period against the Cougars. Wholesale changes coming here for Colorado Christian. A couple players who haven't been in yet. Mia Guest checks in. And or at least just one player who hasn't been in, I suppose. A couple familiar faces returning, Jenna Kendall and Josie Gross Didier as well. And Haley Luther. Kearns now. Beeren. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Beeren will drive all the way to the rack, and it just cannot fall. Well, I think she would gladly trade it, as they're in a good position now, but just that kind of night offensively as far as the finished product goes from Hunter Beeren, but has done plenty of the little things from the non-scorebook variety, you'd say, tonight, to be efficient, especially in the second half, to help pace the Falcons to what is looking like a second win of the season. Kearns now fakes, drives inside. Kearns can't finish. Rebounded by the Cougars. This is Presley Wheeler. Shot clock off. We're to the 15-second mark. They're going to still look for one last shot here, of course. Wheeler to the corner. Gets it down low to Guest, who can't keep the handle. And Leisure's going to come up with it. And she will get it to Kearns. And we will hear the final buzzer here inside Royal Brom Pavilion. Well, what a fourth quarter by the Seattle Pacific Falcons, when it just looked like Colorado Christian was maybe starting to pull away one of the bigger leads by either team in that third quarter from the visitors. The Falcons came out with an absolute vengeance in that second half to get the 10-point victory here, 64-54. They avenge a big loss from last season against these same Colorado Christian Cougars, and they put a better taste in the collective mouths of the Falcon faithful after a tough loss last night. Really strong second half from a number of Falcons. The first one that comes to mind, of course, Lane Kearns with a trio of triples to bury the Colorado Christian Cougars. So, as we said, the next matchups for SPU Women's Hoops, they're going to head north as they take on Simon Fraser at 5:15 on December 5th. They'll then play Western Washington on the way back on the 7th. Quite a few home non-conference games then, as they will play Stanislaus State. Pacific Lutheran makes the trip from Tacoma. They'll take on Westminster and Metro State again. That game will be in Salt Lake City before resuming GNAC play as we head into the new year. Once again, thank you so much for joining us for a double header of Falcon and overall just really, really exciting basketball here inside Royal Brom Pavilion. In fact, thanks for joining us both days of the SPU Thanksgiving Tournament. For our whole crew here inside Royal Brom Pavilion, I've been Sam Paul Barrett, saying have a great rest of your evening, stay warm, and we will see you next time. Once again, the final score, Seattle Pacific 64, Colorado Christian 54.